Guys, I have another book haul. I've tried to film this probably 8 times now, and I get to rambling. And when I get to rambling, I don't remember what I'm saying, so I'll do better. I have 3 books from Thrift Books. The rest are from a used bookstore tent sale. They had those all throughout the summer locally, and their very last one was this past weekend, so I went to it naturally. So I have those plus the tent sale books I got last month. So they're done for the year. This will be the last of the tent sale books until if they start them or do them next year. I'm not sure. That's not to say I won't ever find any more books because, it's me. There's not really any rhyme or reason to what I have. I have 4 giant stacks. If you like smutty delights, there's smutty delights in here. There's nonfiction in here. There's contemporary fiction. There's a couple of classics. So something for everybody, maybe. I'll show you the Thrift books first because there are only 3. I have Through a Glass Darkly by Carlene Cohen. I saw this on Steve Donahue's channel probably more than once, and I got it and thought, that looks familiar, and I don't know if it's because I saw him talk about it several times or that I legitimately already bought it. If I did buy it, I can't find it in my house, so it's a conundrum. If I find it, I have 2 copies. Then we have the Poisonwood Bible, which I had forever, never read, got rid of it, and then decided I wanted to read it. So here we are. And then The Garden of Evening Mists by Tan Tuan Ing. I think I saw this on Doris's channel, Aldi Books. I remember seeing it. I don't remember if she ever read it. I think so. So we'll do that. And I don't have it in here, and I'm not going to get it, but I got I Know This Much Is True by Wally Lamb. Again, a book that I had forever. Never read it. Think I got rid of it. Or if I still have it, I can't find it. So I bought another copy. Okay, and these are going to be all of the 4 stacks. So it was fill a bag for $2.50. So I had 2 bags last month. I don't think I got 2. This may be August, September, October, because I think these last 3 have been slim pickings, so I only got 1 each. So 47 books roughly averages to 16 cents a book, which is pretty good. And if I decide I'm not interested in any of these, I will take them to a little free library because I know where plenty of them are. So it'll be all right. It was just one of those like consumerism challenge accepted. How many books can I get for a $2.50? It's fun. And I mean, it's $2.50 a bag. That's change. So the first one is A Passage to India, E.M. Forster. This one, I was surprised that was out on the table because it doesn't even look like anybody has ever read it. So they put these on it so that if you try to take them back and get credit, they'll know it was from their tent sale. So it's okay. So I have that. These are like going to be a hodgepodge. One Day at a Time by Danielle Steele. I have not read her in forever. But again, cram it in the bag. Presumed Innocent by Scott Turow. This was one that was a last minute crammed in there because let me tell you, I'm going to get my bag's worth. It's just I think a police procedural. Yeah. Then we have The Grass Crown by Colleen Mccullough. I have on this shelf, actually, right here on the very corner, I have 2 in this series. I don't know if it's going to tell me in here. One of them's Cleopatra something. There are 5 or 6, if I'm not mistaken, in this series, and I am one of those. I want to have them all before I start them. So I was actually very surprised to find this because I was this close to getting it from Thrift Books, and 16 cents versus like $5 or $6. I'm happy with that. Judith Krantz, Till We Meet Again. Apparently nobody ever wanted it because there are 4 stickers. Now a Major miniseries. On what channel, I do not know. I don't know if it will tell me. It doesn't really matter, but anything that says miniseries, I'm always intrigued. I've heard of Judith Krantz. I've never read Judith Krantz, and I didn't know anything about this, so I'm all for it. Again, another Judith Krantz. Lovers. I feel like this is going to be Jackie Collins-esque. I don't know why I've been in... I don't know if it's because I'm in a book slump. And when you're in a book slump, people say read stuff like that's completely out of your wheelhouse or something different or something you haven't read in forever. I have not read those types of books in a long time, so I don't know. Then we have Opium by Tony Cohen. This one is present day. I'm not sure. I'm going to try not to think too much about this. I'm going to say probably not turn of the century. We'll just go ahead and say it's modern in the vein of the 1980s modern. Just said something about a Rolls Royce, so that can be anywhere. Then we have Chikara. This one is turn of the century. Japan, I do believe. The thundering saga of 3 generations torn between Japan and America across a century. So, we like that. No Greater Love by Julie Ellis, which I did not realize this. I hope I don't make a mess and topple everything over. We also have this No Greater Love. This I read a long time ago and really loved it. I don't know if it'll hold up the same, but first edition hardback. And this one is Titanic, and this one is 1920s, the Roaring 20s through the Great Depression through World War II. So that, and we have Tara Road, Maeve Binchy, and Madame Bovary by Gustave Flaubert. I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly. You can laugh at me. Make Them Cry by Kevin O'Brien. This one's so creepy. I should have read this for Halloween. Pretty much a murder. Not a police one, just murder. Straight up murder. Frenchman's Creek by Daphne du Maurier. Look at this stunning Avon cover. That is all sorts of majestic. We have Jennifer by Zoa Sherborne. I think this is like a little, yeah, it's just like a little middle grade scholastic. I'm pretty sure it's from the 60s. I don't think it tells me. That's sad. Oh. This 4th printing was in 65. My mother would have been 10. I just thought it was the cutest little thing. We have Daughters of the Sun by Sally Hayton Kiva. This one is actually, I want to read this one soon because it's two twin sisters. It's like Aztec, which you don't see books like that. I know probably like in the 70s and 80s you would see more, but that's just not a thing at all, at least that I've seen, so should be interesting. The Magnificent Savages by Fred Mustard Stewart. I have read Pomp and Circumstance, which was my mother's, that I kind of took myself a long time ago. I've not read anything else by him, so I was actually surprised to find, because does anybody know Fred Mustard Stewart? Like, I feel like nobody knows who this is. We actually met him when I was a kid. We went to Savannah. Was it Savannah? I'm almost positive it was Savannah. And they were filming Summersby. Does anybody remember Summersby? Am I telling my age? We met the guy randomly. Like, I don't know why or how. The Interpreter by Robert Moss. This one is a story. It's not Revolutionary War. Yeah, it is. European colonization in the Mohawk lands. So, that's again different. You don't really see that. Some Can Whistle, Larry McMurtry. Did not know this book existed. I mean, I've read Lonesome Dove. I have Terms of Endearment and a couple of others, but I have never heard of this. We have Betrayal, Danielle Steele. Nothing special. We have Passion Promise, Danielle Steele. We have Joy and Anger by Jennifer Blake. I'm wanting to say maybe I read one of her books back in the late 90s. Don't remember anything about it. Polly's Island, Dorothea Benton Frank. You're just going to have a good time when you read her books. I'm so sad that she passed away earlier. And I love her books because they take place in the Low Country, South Carolina. I'm trying to like split off the books that are the tacky, smutty romances and leave those for last. Dead by Sunset, Ann Rule, and Empty Promises, Ann Rule. I read one of hers, a friend let me borrow more than 10 years ago, and that just really wasn't my thing. I believe at that time I didn't like nonfiction, and hey, here we are. I love nonfiction, so I'm gonna give her another go. Let's see. Shifting Stars by Paige Lambert. This was one that I stuck in at the last minute, and I'm glad I did, because it's a Lakota bride taken from her Sioux family by a Highlander. So she then has a daughter who is half Scottish, half Indian, and it's the combined heritages. So let's see. Oasis of Dreams, Philip Shelby. I don't know much about this other than it sounds like a male Jackie Collins. This does not scream Jackie Collins-esque. It looks like it's some sweet romance, and it's not. So this is an example if the cover doesn't match the story. The Flight of Jenny Bird by Monica Muggan. It's a gypsy daughter and a mistress to a noble. It's a regency, I believe. From Signet. Those are Signet Regencies. Those are Steve. Not exactly that one. Dangerous Liaisons. Apparently, I know I never saw the movie. I always heard the title growing up. Didn't realize what it was about. I thought it was some 1980s, not early 90s thriller. No, apparently it's historical, so I learned something. I feel stupid. Okay, try to make the rest of this quick. We have The Song of Hartgrove Hall by Natasha Solomons. I can't talk. That one I think is 1946, post-war England. The Afternoon Tea Book. This was adorable. Michael Smith. I thought that this was just going to be a book about, historically, about tea, like tea time, the history, I'm going to say culture. The word I'm trying to think of is failing me. Just the tea service in general. And it is, the first little bit is the whole history of afternoon tea and introduction, and then it's recipes, which tickled me to no end because there are so many scone recipes and, delicate cakes and cookies and jams. But what tickled my husband, there's a recipe in here for sausage rolls. So one of these days, I'm going to be making sausage rolls. It may drive me nuts because you have to grind your own meat and all that, but I'm here for it. And then these last ones, well, not yet. 9 Lives to Murder. I bought it for the cover. The back of it, an actor bonks his head, and he and the stage cat are swapped. It's craziness. And then this, The Wrath and the Wind. I got it because it reminded me of this cabin that my husband and I went into. There used to be in the Smoky Mountains, Elkmont, and you could you weren't supposed to go into the cabins, and there was one on the water. Apparently the person that had owned the cabin loved to read because there were tons of like old falling apart pulp fiction books. So for some reason this just reminded me of that. I mean, it sounds absolutely horrific, but it just reminded me of that, so I threw it in the bag. Okay, we're into the smutty parts. We're going to try to do smutty quickly. This is probably one of the best ones of the whole lot. The Cat's Fancy by Julie Kenner. It's a woman trapped in a cat's body trying to get the man to love her. What? So weird and so messed up. And it's like, okay, so what happens when the cat is just a cat and then the woman is somehow... I don't know how this is going to happen, but at what point is it okay in the book or at the end to be like, hey, you remember that cat you had? I watched you in the shower and stuff. It was me all along. I mean, the time of your life. I feel like I'm going to have the time of my life when I read this because I'm going to be peeing my pants laughing. Okay, and here's for the people that like the smutty delights. These are all just absolutely hysterical. This one is not. Again, I keep finding more that aren't. Spring Moon by Betty Bao Lord. This one is, it says a Chinese gone with the wind. Basically, in that sense, the only thing that it means is she went from a life of luxury to a life of poverty and having to pull herself back up. So that's the only way that they could say it's Chinese gone with the wind. Similar circumstances. Okay. Emerald Nights by Virginia Brown. The glorious thing about 80s romances, there was no smutty tab. There was no, oh, we're going to put a picture of some pretty flowers so that you don't know what's coming. No, it's bam in your face. You can't be on a bus or on a subway and people not know your business reading these, okay? I used to read these in high school with these kind of covers, and I didn't care. So, come on, ladies. We don't need smutty tabs. Just go ahead and put it back on the cover. Own it. Own it. Charleston by Alexandra Ripley. She wrote the sequel to Gone with the Wind, Scarlet, which I refuse to read. It doesn't exist. I will never. But I will read Charleston because I love Charleston. Okay, we have The Tiger Lily by Shirley Busby. We have Wanton Bride by Rosalind Alsbrook. Look at his guns. Do you want tickets to those? We have Sweet Obsession by Kathy Jones. We have Passion's Bold Fire by Rosalind Alsbrook. Got another one of hers. I gotta take these stickers off. We have Desire's Gamble. Same author. I feel like I have ruined it by not taking these stickers off, but because they're so old, I don't want them to... Oh no, you're about to... There's a sticker under it, but it's better. Here you go. The Swans Make It. Texas Torment by Catherine Creel. Cheyenne Sunrise by Constance O'Bannon. Lord of the Nile by Constance Bannon. This one's just straightforward. I mean, and then the last one, Bayou Passion by Jane Archer. These all may go in a little free library, but for 16 cents a piece. How can you pass those up? Even if to share in the smutty covers. So I have a lot to go through and to read if I decide I want to read any of them. I think I said at the beginning, I've been in a slump. Like, I have 5 books going, one of which I started in August. I think it was in August. Yes, because it was the August tent sale. I found it there. It's the Far Pavilions, the one that's like 1,200 pages, and I'm halfway through, and I haven't picked it up in a month. I looked at Goodreads today, and as of tomorrow, I have not picked it up for a month. And it's the further away from it I am, the more I'm just not wanting to pick it back up. But then I say to myself, you read 600 pages, are you really going to quit? And then my brain's like, yeah, I'm going to quit. So I don't think that I burned myself out. I've read, I don't know, I can't tell you because I have, my phone there, 259 books this year, which is insanity. I didn't ever change my goal from, I think 75 was my original one. I would like to get to 275 and make it a good number, which is, 16 more books by the end of the year. That's pushing it, unless I pick short ones, so I don't know. But the ones that I will show you, I don't have Far Pavilions. I lied, I have 6 going. I'll tell you what I've kind of have dabbled into. The Real Story by Steve and Donaldson. I found this in a little free library. There was book 1 and book 3 in the little free library, and I picked them up. And it sounded like something my husband would like because it's sci-fi. And I ended up getting the other 3 on Thrift Books. So I randomly picked this up the other night and started reading it, and it's actually okay. I picked this one up last night, A Gracious Plenty by Sherry Reynolds. This one is starts out as a little girl being burned in a fire, and so everybody thought she was old her whole life because of her skin being burned off, and kind of everybody stays away from her, and she cleans the graveyard, which means she's the creepy ghost lady. So I've had this one for quite a while, and again, pick it up randomly. That's me. These books are randoms. American Artisanal, Rebecca Gray. This is one I got from a tent sale. I don't know if I showed it to you in my last haul, but if not, here's another one. A Square Meal, Culinary History of the Great Depression. I know I've had this in a book haul before. It's been on my shelf forever, and I'm pretty sure it was in my last haul. If not, I showed it to you. Yeah, I patched it with duct tape, and I don't care. There used to be a time in my life I cared about those things, but I don't anymore. And then Lucky Us by Amy Bloom. It's super short, and it's apparently 2 sisters from 2 different mothers, and I'm wanting to say, become close, become friends, and then they go through living their life from Brooklyn's beauty parlors to London's West End. So that's it. Other than that, I've been, if I can show you this without dropping it, bored and started making a blanket for my cat. Yes, my cat, because I had this little extra remnant yarn, and what else am I going to do with it? But that's it. You think I have enough to read? Not read any of these. So much for a short video. This is going to end up being right at 25 minutes. And if you've made it this far, again, thank you. But let me know if you've read any of these really random books. What you think I should read. Is it the weird cat book? Is it Bayou Passion? Let me know which one will break my slump. If you've read any of these, what you're reading. Are you in a slump? What is your suggestion to get out of a slump? But that's it. That's all. Again, I'll try to do a video of what I picked for Nonfiction November. My book cart over there has a lot to choose from, so we'll see. But have a good week. I'll talk to you later. Bye.